Yes, yeah. Welcome to another episode of the Klyph Notes podcast. This one is dope. Had a chance to chop it up with the Wolves. They was in the building, man. Kevin Allen, Monty Draper, Brookfield Duece. Man, we had a chance to just sit and chop it up. It was such a good time. Talking about Kevin Allen's new album, Nothing Lasts Forever. It's dropping on the 29th. Get ready to cop yours, man. You're going to hear all about it in this interview. Man, we was just vibing. It's so good. So good to chop it up with my Grand National family, for real. So make sure you tell everybody to tap into this one. It's the Klyph Notes podcast. Support for the Klyph Notes podcast comes from Akepele Apparel, an idea born from a love of hip-hop, funk, and soul music and its surrounding cultures. With fashion being a huge visual part of the cultures, they've created expressive images to pay homage, invoke nostalgia, and showcase the elements that make up the lifestyle and cultures of these genres. Akepele, apparel for the music lifestyle. For more information, check out akepele.com. That's AKEPELE.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, the show you're about to listen to may contain explicit content. So guess what? You need to put them babies to sleep. This is for grown folks only. So we're not held liable for anything you might be offended by. Thank you for listening.
Yes, y'all. Welcome to another episode of the Klyph Notes podcast. Available everywhere you listen to your podcasts. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Audible, Pandora, Stitcher, your mama's basement. It's like we everywhere. We everywhere, man. Yo, I'm feeling some kind of way though. Like I'm feeling like I'm in here with, first of all, individuals who I'm a huge fan of, but I'm also in here with someone who does a regular podcast at such a high level that, you know, I'm feeling so inadequate right now.
Monty Draper, huh?
They got medicine for that.
Yo, I got Monty Draper live back for the third time, I think.
This is, yep.
On the Klyph Notes podcast, but the first time live and in person. What up, B?
What's up, brother? How are you?
Man, look, I'm really, really good. We got this dude who I have just really become just a really big fan of as an artist, but also as a person, known all over the planet for the work that he did a minute ago, and has come back like even stronger. And it's just dope to once again connect with him for the second time, but the first time in person. We had Kevin Allen live on the Klyph Notes podcast.
Straight up. What's happening?
And then we got the homie, dude. He just fam. Like it's just regular. We got Brookfield Duece back on the Klyph Notes podcast for like the 7th time.
It's that many times?
I don't know. I don't think it's been 7 times. How you doing, bruh?
About to say.
We got it's 3.
Jesus Christ.
Jamal.
It's 3
That's what we
quarters
should have brought with us, Jamal.
Right.
Kariga.
Yo, so y'all are in Portland, man. We are at the XRAY FM studios recording this. We just finished doing Welcome to the Neighborhood and kicked it over to Grand National Radio, which is so dope.
That's amazing, right?
Yeah, I mean, yo, it's like I said, man, it's really cool for me to be able to just have y'all live and in person here. A bunch of stuff to talk about, but before we get into too much extra, man, I want to just jump right into the fact that I don't know if people realize, but nothing lasts forever. You know what I mean?
Straight up.
It's that's a real situation. You know what I mean?
You deep, brother. You deep, brother. And I like that. You know what I'm saying? Pool.
Yo, Kevin Allen got a new project that's dropping on the 29th of this month. The next level, Nothing Lasts Forever. The production, I mean, it's a Grand National situation all the way around, bruh. Bro, you busy, like you forever dropping music, yo.
I mean, kind of, sort of, like, this Kevin Allen, can we say bad words on here?
Yeah, yes, you may. You at home, baby.
Yeah, this Kevin Allen shit is just a new chapter, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Grand National thing is a new chapter, so it's just a lot of new shit that is happening right now.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I'm just blessed to be here. I'm blessed to be a part of it. Like, my bros is here. They holding it down. Shout out the crew, the fam, the squad, the wolves, the tribe, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
New shit on the way.
Yeah, man. We talked a little bit about it on the radio show, man. But just in case people didn't get a chance to catch that conversation, man, let's talk about the project, because I did not go through and look at what you've released recently, but everything from the Grand National project, Twice on Sunday, to the like the verses that you did on other projects, you know, you've just been. You've been busy, and obviously that's not new. You know, you've been making music for a while, but it seems like you're just in this creative space right now.
I can't be stopped, Klyph.
Come on now, say that, bruh.
Can't be stopped. Nah, for real, like, I'm just surrounded by people that love this. Like, we love music. We're just fans, man. We just really want to make art that reflects what we grew up on, and if we can help it, make it better. You know what I mean? If we can add something to the culture, especially in the Bay, but bigger than the Bay, and just rap our ass off and produce great music and really, like, show up for the fans and show up for people that don't know that they need this. Like, now you need to listen to adults talk about adult things. You know what I mean? It's impossible for everyone to be in the club all the time. That's impossible. Yeah. And we know you lying. So when y'all want to stop lying, tap in the Grand National. We got the truth for you. Come on home.
Yeah.
Come on home, baby.
You say something that I think can sometimes be lost on the youth, man. The idea that you've had these experiences, and so what you speak of, you're speaking from experience. You're saying that, okay, I did these things that everybody's talking about, and now, like, take heed to what I'm sharing. Thus far, what sort of feedback are you getting, or are you getting any feedback?
I'm not sure how much of it is fake and real, but I guess for me, I think that brings up, like, when you finally get the experience, why then does hip-hop want to silence the artist? Like, you get to a certain age, a certain point where they go, all right, that's enough. But I finally got something real to say, and now you want to silence that to keep it youthful. So there's nobody to, like, kind of, like, be in front of the train, which is kind of crazy to me. So I think the response after this project should kind of even, like, some of the playing ground and say, okay, we understand what's going on. But we got to be the guinea pigs. We got to be the first ones to go out there and show and prove. So
do you think that idea, that thought is changing? Because I kind of feel like, you know, as we see this genre literally middle age now, you know what I'm saying, that there is, obviously you have the obvious individuals that you think of that are still operating at a high level, who are like grown folk, right? And who've also, like, done other things. Like, you think about Jay-Z, you look at the age that he is, but then you look at someone who is still celebrated. You look at people like Latifah, who's gone and done these other things, but still celebrated as a great MC.
Facts.
Do you think that the world is now recognizing? I mean, that idea that you too old to be doing that's going away, or is that still a part of the narrative?
I think that's still a part of the narrative, and because there's only a handful, you know what I mean? You can probably count them on one hand how many people are regarded as, like, Latifah. I didn't even think of that until you said that. But as soon as you start talking LL, as soon as you start going there, people, like, tapped out. That's not, we ain't playing. We off that. Yeah. So you get the Hoes, you get the Nas's, you get the Rosses,
Like Dog, 2 Chainz.
You know what I mean? You get there, and then it starts to get a little murky, and it's all young. So much so that the 30-year-olds feel too old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, when you're early 30s, it's like J. Cole starts to speak as if he's 60.
Yeah.
It's like, fam, like, hold on.
Yeah.
You're just maturing. You're just now becoming the man that you've been rapping about this whole time.
Yeah.
Now I want to hear how you maneuver through these things. So I don't think it's where it's supposed to be yet.
Yeah.
The Rolling Stones be on tour till they dead in the face.
100%.
And it's cool. Nobody says
still on
nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
And then black folks like, oh man, we don't want to hear that shit, OG.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, all right. You're gonna want to hear it one day.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny because we had an opportunity to play an exclusive joint, and thank y'all so much. Thank you. So let me give y'all a little backstory. So came through, was talking about the project, and during the show, Monty Draper, producer, engineer, MC, creative director extraordinaire, like created a radio edit for us to play on the radio show. So big ups to Monty Draper, you know,
Love,
the
man.
Renaissance man.
Love, man. Come on.
But I said to y'all, man, playing that joint, like the music that you're making, it's it has this sound and it has this feel of music that we celebrate today that was recorded years ago. When I think of artists like and this is, I'm an old head, but when I think of artists like Curtis Mayfield, when I think of artists like Al Green, when I think of sort of that, these are artists that you can play now and continue to play for years to come. Like that's the music that I hear coming from Grand National. And so when you talk about looking at the music that you came up on and then just wanting to do it better, it feels to me that you're successful in doing that thus far. But does it feel, as a creative, do you feel like you're on that right now, or are you still kind of working the formula?
I think we're testing. Everything is like proof of concept for us. It's like the word we throw around all the time. Like we just testing. Like to think that we got it figured out, that's not the angle that we're trying to take. It's to say, let's try this. Let's try it together. Like, did it work for you by yourself? Like, nah, this is what I did by myself and I failed at that.
Yeah.
How do y'all see it? And now we just soundboard off each other and then move forward.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of shit been working like that. A lot of shit failed like that, but we just don't. We're not attached to the failures. We just get rid of those real fast because shit, everybody fails. So
Right.
what? Like, you know what I mean?
Right. I think I said this to you when we did the last interview, but I'm gonna say it again, bro. Like I wasn't really familiar beyond the name, the Irk the Jerk name. You know what I mean? So I wasn't really familiar with the content. So for me, I feel like my introduction to you as an MC was really through Grand National.
Dope.
And just really, obviously, you've done this art form so long that to hear your voice on these records, you're like, oh, okay, like, nah, that dude, like, he's, he know what he's doing. But when we think about Grand National as a crew, as a collective, seeing Grand National rock at the mic check situation, thank y'all so much for doing that for us. That was so dope.
Thank y'all, man.
The Grand National collective and having people behind you to like you said, soundboard off of. What are those are all of the great things. What are the challenges though of not necessarily, when you're doing your thing yourself, you can make the decision and you can move how you want to move. But what about like when you have a whole crew of people who have different ideas, have different thoughts?
The challenge is I mean, in life itself, but in this world that we're trying to create is always like an ego. And that's just a self thing. It's just when you're by yourself, you don't have anyone to check you. And in the group setting, there's always someone to check you. So it's just like that can be challenging when you're, for lack of a better word, like an alpha. When you're like, hey, I'm just gonna get it done. We get it done.
Yeah.
But like, nah, hold on, Brody. He said this wasn't. That's wasn't. Let me hold the horses back until he say it's cool. That can be a challenge, but that's what the check system is for, to say, hey, not right now, bro.
Yeah.
Or hit the button, go faster. Like, all right, hold on. So to me, that's my biggest challenge, probably, like just being patient and then having the ego in check so I don't hit the gas too fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you guys have done such a great job as Grand National of sharing the process. So if people have an opportunity to follow Grand National or follow any of you folk individually on social media, we really get a chance to see the process. You know what I mean? We get a chance to see you in the booth, to see you behind the drums, right? But then we also get an opportunity to see like Duece in the director's chair, right? We get an opportunity to see Monty behind the mixing board. This group of individuals right here, we can see that this project, I would assume, is a result of what we see, right? So Nothing Lasts Forever is truly a collection of ideas and thoughts and input of everyone.
Yeah, no, really, I mean, it's crew. Like, the crew inspired it, first and foremost. It's just inspired by being around nothing but dope musicians and rappers and songwriters and designers and creatives as a whole. And yeah, just the bros, like being in the room with elite rappers, it's gonna push you a little bit further, and you get the check system. Like, man, I said this bar, and you look, nobody said nothing. Like, that's not it. Like, that probably was weak. And you come with that bar, and it be like, that's it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
All right, then it's time to go. So yeah, that's just the product of it. We sit around and talk music all day, make music all day.
Yeah,
that's the easy part. So we know the branding and all that is next. It's how do you get people that are bombarded with shit all day to take a few minutes out of their day to tap into what y'all got going on. So we have to give people more than music for that to be real for us.
Yeah.
In the same way we wanted to know about all our favorites, Word Up magazines plastered all over the wall, that type of shit. Like, this is our version of that. So, you know what I mean? Just come into the world, like, get a dose.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. All right, so I want to give people a little bit of a behind the scenes thing. So, I don't want to say too much, but you're up here to take care of some business, and you were just sharing with me you got word that you guys were coming up sort of short notice, and kind of just packed a bag and jumped on the plane, and Brookfield made all of the arrangements. It's cool to me to see that, like, to see everybody having a role and playing their role, and that's got to make it easy, because okay, I know this individual's gonna take care of that. I don't have to worry about that piece of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best part about having a team is reliable family. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, something's got to be done. Somebody's gonna knock that out. You don't got to worry about it. Or if they can't, then they can pass the ball to somebody else who can. Okay, I could do it. You can't do it. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
That's how companies are ran. You know what I mean? And being a rapper is not being a company.
Yeah.
So divorcing the two and making sure that they're separate. Like, I could be an MC, I could rap till I'm blue in the face. Yeah. It has nothing to do with running a business or a company. It has nothing to do with that. So we just kind of understanding that. So if he's gonna handle flights. Yeah, he's one of the best rappers I know, but he's going to handle the flights today, then that's the hat he's wearing, and he doesn't make it a thing. It's not I got to handle the flights. It's like, I got it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In the past, you can kind of run into that. The homie don't want to hold the camera.
Yeah.
I had a lot of homies, I don't want to hold this camera. I got to hold the camera. I'm trying to get on the home. Fam, like, we're not here for that. But, Monty got the camera, and he got some secret footage in there. I'm going to break his iPad if I see some wild shit in there. But he got the camera rolling. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Smashing that.
So it's funny, though. All right, so this was the next question I was going to ask, and you mentioned it. Like, the three, we've heard the three of you on records together. We've heard the three of you release music individually. We know that all three you folk are talented. So you're in the process of making this project. I'm gonna ask you, Brookfield. Like, was there a joint that you heard that you was like, okay, hold up, I gotta get a verse on that joint?
All of them. Shit, all of them. I mean, I did a verse for Glass House. They took me off. I originally was going right to Franklin Saint, but I was slow to the punch. So it worked out the way it was supposed to.
Yeah.
I think that like we've said a number of times, the idea that we've worked on, like, removing the ego, and like, everybody can rap and you got your capabilities, but, like, maybe there's one line that sounds better if I just take it from my brother, and being able to have the the mental strength to say, I should take that bar. I think is probably our superpower. Is like a thing that a lot of artists, they kind of get in their own way. You know, they I wouldn't even call it trauma. It's just one of those things where you gotta do it yourself, and you gotta write all of your raps, and it's like that's the music part, but the business part, don't say any of that stuff. The rule book for the music business is create music for the people. So whatever you have to do to create a product that the people gonna purchase and support and keep in their car in competition with the rest of the world, because we're not competing with nobody sitting at home. We're competing with people across the world. When I'm listening to music, I listen to Jay-Z and I go, I gotta beat him. I gotta beat Ransom. I gotta beat Rock Marciano. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's the stuff that I'm thinking about when I'm listening to music. So I'm not listening to nobody that's happy being local. That's not who I'm competing with. So if they trying to get a deal with Samsung, we got to figure out how to get a deal with Samsung.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we need a car commercial because those is the rooms we want to be in. So I think that just being able to, like I said, take the ego out and say, like, yeah, I could do a whole rap by myself, but maybe if I did 11 of these 16 and Kev gave me 2 and Monty gave me 3 to make 16, then the 16 would be way more crazy than if I just did a whole 16 myself and I got 5 bars. It's like, I could have did without those bars. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I think that's our superpower. I think that it's hard to find that, you know?
No doubt.
Took 20 years to find that.
Damn.
So like I said, I'm just a fan, you know what I'm saying? And so it's always cool to see behind the scenes stuff. And I'll go and look for studio footage from like Rakim in the studio, or studio footage from Outkast recording, or studio footage of Run DMC in the studio. And it's a different time. Maybe there is some stuff that exists, but it's not like I can't just jump on YouTube and find it, you know what I mean? But you guys have created an opportunity for people to see that. And like I said, I seen you behind the board, Monty, doing the engineering piece, doing that part that doesn't really get talked about a lot. Is that just, okay, this is something that I dig, this is something that I'm good at, or is it this is what's needed right now, and so let me make that happen?
Man, it's all of it. We were in the car just now. Curtis King, is that who was that? Who we were watching on Timbaland's page? Yeah. But he was essentially bigging up producers that learn from sampling. You know what I'm saying? I was telling Kev, I was like, damn, I'm glad he said that, because I'm hella insecure around other musicians and producers. Like, I don't even consider myself a producer yet. Like that, I still want to get my 10,000 hours and really understand that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it really all came out of necessity. We was talking about the connection to Portland. Like, my OG I was here. I moved here after college, and he was like, bro, why you didn't go home? And I was like, man, I don't know. He's like, you better go home. You sitting around waiting for beats and producers and stuff, and Sue, Pilo, Kuya, and all them is back at home. You better take your ass back home. And eventually went back home, but still was sitting around waiting for beats. You know what I'm saying? And then, learn how to use the MP, learn how to use the machine, and then there was a Juno and an ARP in there, and it was like, bro, you better figure out how to 2-finger them bass lines or something. You better figure out something, And then shout out to Wilkie. He put the big board down there, the 48 channel joint down there, so it started multi-tracking analog and stuff, and it just kind of blew my whole world up. Started going back and listening to old like Dre productions, and then Dre has that run from 87 to 91 where he did everybody's record. Yella was talking about they get back from the Niggas for Life tour, and Dre like, all right, I'm going to the studio, who coming? And all of them was like, nope. And he went to the studio to the neck and did DLC's record by himself, because he was just so inspired from what he saw on the road. And that was really how BTS was made. Like, season 1 dropped, we went number 3, and I had never had no acclaim like that, like on anything personally I did. So to do a fraction of the work and finally get the notoriety you've been seeking is crazy. So it does something to you internally. But I didn't leave the studio after that. Like, I didn't want to be nowhere else. Like, the music was just calling. I had been digging for the last 3 summers, so I had hella records to go through. And every day I would just go drop the needle and then find something. And it just so happened that everything we dropped the needle on was a joint.
And if whoever was there would be like, nope, that's it, and we just start rapping. Like literally, that's why I see BTS. Like anybody that doesn't know, BTS was made in 14 days exactly.
That's crazy, yo. That's crazy. All right, so hold up. I gotta get it. I gotta pull it up. I want to go through the record. I don't know how much you want to put out there. Can we like go through song titles? You mean? Can we?
You family.
Okay.
Family.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about. Let's start here. So Franklin Saint is a joint that we played on the radio show. One of the things that I love about your style is like you just be clever with the wordplay, right? But talk to me about Franklin Saint. Coming up with that, you shared a little bit with me before, but let the folk know about Franklin Saint and the significance of that particular joint.
We start the project with that. Like, I don't know where you were, bro, but you sent me. Like you played it over the phone.
Yeah,
he was in Long Beach.
No,
Palm Springs. Same thing.
You played it over the phone.
Same thing.
Same thing. It was one of them. It was like, all right, now I'm ready. Like I heard it, like that's it. Like, bro, send me that. Send me that.
I was tripping.
I don't really turn up and get too passionate about music. Like it's just, you know what I mean, like my own music in that way. So when he was making the beat over the phone, I'm like, fam, that's crazy. Send me that. And I think that's the beginning of the, all right, now I feel like inspired to write. And we took months.
Yeah.
We took months to make that song and make the words land how they're supposed to land.
Man.
And we might change a bar. We added a bridge. We added this Curtis Mayfield part. We added strings. We added...
Shout out Bedrock.
We had 3 different outros from 3 different people talking shit. And they're like, nah, that don't work. We just wanted the record to sound like
a record.
Crack. Like we wanted to sound like crack. And then it just had a late 70s feel.
Yeah.
But we kept it. That's the foundation of what Snowfall and the show and all that kind of morphed into going into the 80s. And that's when I was born. So it just became this like, I don't know the world without crack. Like my world has always been like, damn, this is how black people live. And that's not true. So it just kind of spawned a whole bunch of different ideas. And we just ran with it, man. It was just one of them ones.
That's what's up, B. That's what's up. And then you have a special treat, I'll say, for us at the end of the record. We get an opportunity to revisit that joint. There's a live version of Franklin Saint. Was that something that just happened organically, or did you think, nah, I want to do something live on the album?
So we wanted to start by making our own samples and shit like that, and just being organic. You know, we wanted things to come together by themselves. But Quincy Jones over here, Bomba Clot Manuel. he made that call, and he just called like, I was like 15 people on that record. It was something like that.
26.
26.
Word?
Yeah.
Is 26. It really?
26.
It's not that high, is it?
I'm quoting you. It's 26.
No, it's not. It's 15. It's 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
15?
That's what we were aiming for.
Yeah.
Like we got like half of the horn section that we wanted. It was supposed to be an entire string section, but Byron's a string section on his own. Shout out to homie Byron Hogan, celloist. But we, that Dre, Quincy, like again, all of that whole realm and like taking it there.
Yeah.
And then if you have the ability to, we went to LA and we're like playing a record for folks, and Bedrock was like, yo, y'all should really take advantage of the spot.
Yeah.
And that's all I needed to hear. It's like, y'all, we can access it. I got access to some of my favorite musicians in the world. You know what I'm saying? So it made sense to call out of them. Like one of my oldest friends, Andy Wilkie, is a trumpet player. And we hadn't, our last conversation wasn't on the best of terms, but it was like this was such a big moment for me, being a part of the creation for Irk the Jerk. Like for real, this means the world.
Yeah.
So I hit my my day one bros. Like I know Andy since I was in the 4th grade, bro. Like, hey, this is what's going on. I need you.
Yeah.
I hit push, like, yo, bro, this is what's going on. And all of them dropped what they were doing. It was like, bro, I'm not missing that for the world. You know what I'm saying? So it was like that one time where you get to push the button. And that was crazy. You just look up and all these people start showing up. You're like, bro, this is wild.
Yeah.
Nah, he pushed the button though, but world-class musicians.
Word.
From take 1 till we did about 7 takes,
did 7
maybe?
takes, yeah.
7 takes
Just
live.
because we was bored.
Yeah.
No, really, for real. Like, we had the studio all night, but we could have went home after the first take, honestly.
Like, musically, never seen nothing like that. Like, y'all ready? 1, 2. They never rehearsed together. They just knew their parts individually and then came together and then a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, and then they didn't miss a beat.
James Brown was
They didn't miss a beat.
Man.
Yeah, like that was crazy. That was crazy.
Brian Simmons, MD, Julius Jarvis, JJ on the drums, who JJ had been my MD shit for the last 4 years, like just trying to figure it out. He kept saying, bro, like, I'm ready to take it there. And I'm like, bro, me too. I just don't know when it's gonna make sense. Like when is it gonna make sense to cut an entire analog song, let alone an album? Right. You know what I'm saying? And then we got the first studio, the Reef, and the first thing we did was put a drum kit in there and try to treat the room and figure out how to multi-track and get multiple mics on the drums and try to get that sound. Like it's 2 break beats on there that Kev's actually playing himself.
Oh, word!
So
that's
it's like,
what's up.
I didn't even know what I was doing then, but I made the album.
No doubt.
So just those textures and those things, you go, what sets the Chronic apart, right? And then you hear the folks that worked on it and be like, yo, Dre, like, yo, he'll program the drums, but he'll for sure have a drummer come in there, even if it's just for the snare.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so you start thinking about things like that. So you got a lot of like really cool outboard gear. Kevin Parker from Tame Impala was like a really big inspiration, like watching the process that he went to track his drums, and the homie Mike Reed in Secret Sidewalk, he was doing something similar. So I got to see him do it. Yeah. And it was like, oh. And then we went to LA, and the first thing Bruh said was like, yo, this is how they did track the Ye drums for those six albums or whatever, 7 albums. However many they did, this is how they were tracking the drums. Yeah. If you use a machine, if you use the MPC, and then out of the MPC into this outboard gear, into Pro Tools, and back, I'm like, bro, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So you just there was so much learning involved in creating this album, and then you get to apply it the very next session. You're like, hey, y'all, I think we got something, or we don't. You know, it didn't always work, but when it did, it was real. It felt like magic. You know,
and it's so cool to hear that because we all have the opportunity now to go home into our bedroom studios and create on our computers and then release it on SoundCloud or release it on Spotify for that matter, right? Through DistroKid and this, that, and the third. But you're talking about creating music in a way that's so much richer than that,
right?
And I think that what I had an opportunity to hear definitely is a result of that. Yo, talk to me about Radio Raheem, man. Bruh, when I heard that, I was like, uh-oh.
I just told DeAndre, I was like, y'all, they got, that's I didn't produce that record. That's my favorite moment on the album. Yeah. Like not even close. Just how it sounds.
Yeah.
That was I need that song right there.
Yeah.
That was one of those moments, like, we were doing a session. Shout out Ian Kelly, too. We were doing a session. And it's one of those, like, let's just go to the lab, let's go. Yeah. And then he pulled up some beats, and I knew the producer he got the beat from, and we both just laid verses, and it's like, fam, I'm working on this album. Like, you working on your album? Nah, it's kind of fit on my album.
Right.
And we both coincidentally name dropped Radio Raheem in the verses.
Okay.
Like, that wasn't planned. We didn't. It was like, damn, I got some of my verse too. Well, there it is. Like, let's make it happen. But yeah, just wanted to like rap.
Yeah.
Wanted to rap.
Man.
Yeah. All right, so Childish.
Jane, we love you.
Look. Yeah, man. Shout out to Jane Father. But look,
straight up.
But look, bruh. If I was a younger man and less secure, you know, and no, I'm saying if I was a younger man and less secure in my relationship, and listen to the end of Childish, I'd be a little uncomfortable.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
Yo,
Oh man.
Pretty toxic. Look at Tyler. Look at Tyler Perry over there being messy.
Look.
Can you believe he said that?
Can you believe he said that? It's comedy.
Oh my Lord.
Try to keep it rated PG-13.
Look, bruh, I don't even want to get in the way. I'm just saying, every time I listen to that, I be like, oh, dang, that's some Eric the Jerk for real right there, yo. But
Man over there.
yeah, I'm gonna let people experience that one, man.
Yeah, let's just act like that didn't happen.
You really give us a taste of conscious music, of thoughtful music, and you balance that with lightheartedness, and you balance it with there's a little bit of something on this album for everyone, I think. And you shared something with me on the radio about that process, but to this audience, I mean, let them know that, like that thought process of creating something, an art piece that everybody can take something away from.
It's just a part of what we do. Like, as a solo artist, I just feel differently than I am inside of Grand National. Like that's a thing. Kevin Allen outside of that is a completely different person. And I've had different experiences, and I express them differently when I'm by myself. You know what I mean? So yeah, just say a little, we'll just leave it like that. I'm probably the wildest one here.
Yeah.
Unless we in LA. If we in LA, you know what I'm saying?
Lord.
That'd be cool.
My man right here.
Cool. That's wild.
If we in Hollywood.
It's only when he cuffed the jeans.
It's the shades in the cuff.
Yeah,
it's
shades in the cuff.
Shade and the cuff. When Money put the shade with the cuff. Bitch. That nigga ain't playing.
Oh my Lord. Nothing lasts forever. The rollout of this project, bruh, is it's no different than what we've seen from Grand National. You guys are touching on everything, man. You're doing an event that people are going to have an opportunity to experience, which is something that I feel like I was talking to, shout to my guy Dre Slaps. I was talking to Dre Slaps just the other day about the fact that we are so inundated now with information, which is good, but at the same time I think it's bad. And as a radio DJ, it's even more so, and you guys know, because people are constantly sending you this content that you don't really get an opportunity to sit with the content and experience the content. But the rollout of Nothing Lasts Forever, you're creating an opportunity where people can experience it in a very tangible way. Talk about what's coming in terms of a listening session for this project.
We want to just do an art installation.
Okay.
We want to make sure that it's not a release party where you come in to turn up. It's like we want high art to be at the focus. We want that to be the priority. Like there's nothing about the project that's supposed to be passive, and I don't feel like art should be passive. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're in a time where the currency is how many scrolls or how many times someone stops in their scroll to look at what you got going on. And the reality is, don't nobody give a fuck about nobody else but themselves. Like that's how they move. So we want to create a space where you stop for a minute and go, oh, let me immerse myself in this. And let me see what it do. And we're testing, like we were saying earlier, just all proof of concept. Like, let's just see if this works. Yeah. Let's see if we can get art to the people in a tangible way. Yeah. If it works, cool. If it does, we're back to the drawing board, because we're just not attached to the outcome like a new artist would be. We're not going to be sitting at the computer like, oh, we got to sell this many copies of the record. It's like, nah, we made an art piece, and I guarantee when it's all said and done, you go back and hear it, not too many people are fucking with what we got going on.
Yeah.
Not body of work wise.
Right.
You can make some dance shit. That's cool. I grew up in that era. We like to dance, and the women be freaks, and it's fun, and that's cool.
Yeah.
I also grew up in an era where music was important. You know what I'm saying? And the longevity is important. So when you press play on something, 15 years from now, we still talking the same talk, and it's still relevant. And everybody else talking about taking drugs and hanging out with their homies and being weird. We're just gonna see who stood the test of time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And you know, from my perspective, and it's my podcast, so I can say this. From my perspective, that's what we should all aspire to do, right? When we have a platform, use the platform to not just impact or not just for self-gratification. That if any platform that we have at any level, some of that at least should be used to elevate our communities, to elevate our surroundings, to make a positive impact on those who are going to just to access that platform. And it sounds like that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Give me some details on the installation, man. How do people tap into that? How do people, you know, take part in this event?
Yeah, but before he answers that, I do want to piggyback on something that both of y'all just said. Like outside of, or maybe inside of just the community aspect of it, without giving too much information about how I feel like we really tapped into something that needs to be tapped into. Like, we worked on this album, but the people worked on this album before they knew they had it. And I think that's
What you mean?
I can't really, once it's out, we could talk about it.
Okay.
But like, more than us A&R this.
Okay.
The people that are listening to this music,
Yeah.
ask for what they getting.
Got you.
Man.
Got you.
So it's not one of those things where it's like, yeah, we worked on this, we worked on that, we sat down, we thought about this, but all of it is beta. Like, all of it is data. All of it is the same way they take your phone and they send you an ad is the same way we created this. The same way you say you like talking to your homie about something, and then you look in your phone and you scroll, and there it is. And there it is in your phone, like, oh, I didn't even know I wanted these boots.
Right.
But now
You would buy some boots too.
But now it's in my phone, you know?
You would buy some boots.
I was just thinking about boots. I gotta turn my Siri off. You know what I mean? Like,
Bomba clot Siri.
I gotta turn my Siri off. You know, Siri be listening. The feds is watching me. You know what I mean? So like,
Right.
it's deeper than rap. You know, like, we really decided to open up the doors to something that I don't even think they knew they was in the house. And like I said, once it's out, it'll be something that we can continue to have a conversation about.
Yeah.
But I just want to piggyback on that, is that we're not making something in hopes that people appreciate it. We're not making something in hopes like that it does well. Like, it's already been tested. Like, it's already there. And at this point, we're just holding you up from giving you what you already ordered. It's like Amazon is on the way. You know what I mean? It's like, you already press play on this.
Yeah.
You've already said, I don't like this way.
Yeah.
Give it to me this way.
Yeah.
And then we just said, okay.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that that's something that needs to be highlighted a little bit more. Like I said, I'll get deeper into it, but I've been thinking about this concept for a while since we've like created these experiences. You know, shout out to Danielle. These that's like her favorite word, is experience.
Yeah.
But like, when I think about the idea of the experience that we've been giving people,
Yeah.
everybody A&R this. It ain't
That's
just
heavy.
us. It's literally the community, the tribe.
That's heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer. Once it's out, it ain't ours no more. So it's not ours now because they helped make it.
Man, this dude in here philosophizing right now, man. When you have
fish, two fish.
Trying to psychologize me.
Trying to psychologize me.
when you have that mindset, does that create any level of pressure, or
No.
Yeah.
No.
Opposite.
Yes.
Okay.
All the way opposite.
Okay.
It's done. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to explain, man. Like, Jordan is the best. And he could just say, all you got to do is catch the inbound and 3 dribbles, spin move, fade away, and win the game. And you're like, no, I can't do that.
Right.
You know, Jordan can show you all day long, but that don't mean that the next person can actually replicate.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that's where we are now. I think we're able to be super transparent because nobody can just do what we do.
Right.
Man.
Right.
Because they don't do it together. They don't do it in the way we care. They don't, you know what I mean? It's for other reasons.
Sheesh.
So at what point, like, how did you get there though?
Losing. You want to win? You want to win? How many times you got to lose before you decide to trade some pieces?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Let's figure this out. Yeah. Let's figure this out. Let's try to win at least once in our life. You know what I mean? Let's try to win.
Yeah.
Who like losing every day? You know.
That dude said we got to put the team together.
Yeah, man. How long you gonna rap before you say, you know what, I'm not good enough for this?
Yeah.
Or are you gonna associate yourself with people who really want to do this too?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But I mean, it's one thing to say that. And then it's another thing to do it. And it's another thing to do it and have a certain level of success and say, okay, but we're going to continue to do this, right? Because the success happens and you feel like, okay, now we're there. Now I can go and not follow the plan that we had. So how do you do that? How do you keep the connection? How do you keep the collective together?
Who you been talking to?
Not being a goofy, bro. Like it's as simple as that. Like for me, in my own era, because me and Reed were talking about this too. It's like the age differences ain't hella big, but they are specific in terms of how technology changed, how music was changing. Like the age gaps are nothing. It's what was happening during those times, right? Yeah. And I just come from an era where some of the cats I just knew was going to the league. Right. A lot of things are in reference to hoop. Yeah. Just knew they was going to the league. Yeah. And something as simple as attitude problem is be the difference between you and 100 million. Right. Yeah. Your attitude. Yeah. I personally wouldn't raise that way. You know what I'm saying? Like moms and pops wasn't together, but it was. That shit wasn't flying. Yeah. Your attitude is what's going to be the determining factor, and you figuring some shit out. Come on, fam. You know what I'm saying? So there is this to the point that you're making. Like, oh, it worked. Fuck y'all, I'm out. Like that also is a thing too. But all right, the wins is cool. Mm-hmm. We could really break down like the best companies. The E-Myth. The best companies create tension every quarter. Red or black. If you're in the red, you're in the black. You're in the red, you're going to figure some shit out. Even if you're in the black, the best companies go, all right, we wasn't good enough though. Yeah. And so taking that approach has been the game changer because we haven't settled. Like, that TOS was cool. Yeah. But what we want to do, what we're attempting to do, and the access point, the entry point for other artists. Yeah. And like you said, it took 20 years. Like, they've essentially shaved some time off of my journey for me. I gotta pay that forward. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what that really is what is encouraging and inspiring about just figuring that part of it out, like problem solving that, reverse engineering that. Yeah. And why is organized noise still moving the way you want them to? Is Dungeon Family still moving the way that you want them to? Right. Like reverse engineering those and seeing what didn't work. What didn't work at Death Row? Death Row was kicking Bad Boy's ass as far as numbers were concerned, but Puffin them still here. You know what I'm saying? So we got to look at something, you know. And Cash Money, like studying all the ones that figured it out, had their issues and what have you. It's like, what can we do better, and how can we retain some of that wealth too? Yeah, because a lot of that it made a lot of other people wealthy. Like others, like they got it bad, and we don't have nothing to show for it as far as like our content and our genre is concerned. So it's like trying to really solve that part of it and put a whole bunch of people on. Like,
it's funny though because it's like Brookfield said though, like there's a part of it that makes you feel like, okay, we've figured something out, and we want to just we want to take what we figured out and then just keep it pushing and not let people in on the secret. But you're like, it's almost like you're saying, all right, here's the formula, do it.
Oh,
If you think you could do it, do it.
Bro, they got the shout out Matt Horn. He got the at the barbecue spot, Horn Barbecue.
Yeah.
And you come watch the whole process. I'll give you the recipe. You're still not gonna do what I do, though.
Right.
That's Splice and Track Lib and the nigga. I'll walk you to Dave's records and show you the bin that he sets aside for me, and you still won't do with these samples that I do, because I'm a hitman crew, baby. Like I want to make hits like them.
Right.
And you don't really listen to that. You're not a fan enough to fuck with me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that part. Like Pharrell's still a fan for real. That's why he kicking everybody ass, because he really love it.
Yeah.
So if you faking, you might get it. You might catch one,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not gonna get no bag, and you're not gonna sustain it. So
Talk! Ain't playing with
These
you,
dudes in
niggas.
here dropping knowledge, yo. All right, so you have the art installation. The album is dropping, but the album it's not just the record. You guys have done some dope stuff with merch. Man. Brookfield in here rocking the Grand National hoodie.
You heard?
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm late. I'm my order is coming. You know what I mean, before y'all sell them joints out. But with the album, I see that there's gonna be some vinyl for all us DJs. What? You know what I mean?
Of course,
Specifically for y'all.
There's gonna be merch. Obviously, what's coming with the music? What are people gonna be able to get a handle on?
Everything: tapes, records, clothing, experience, art, and care along with the music. Like this is really built on community in the most player way possible. Like we just trying to bring it back to working together. Yeah. So it's a blueprint. It's a creative agency. It's a firm now. It's Grand National appears to be a rap crew, but this is a creative agency. Bring your art. Shout out Jesus again. She laid out the Dame Lillard album cover, the merch, you know what I mean? Like this is a business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this is a business. And
that's what's up.
We're in the business of rap sometimes, and sometimes we're directing video. Sometimes we're running companies with journalism. Right. Sometimes we're like production. Yeah. On the executive production though, not. It's everywhere. Right. And so that's gonna come along with the music. That's just the seed. Yeah. I mean, everything else attached to that is gonna be crazy. So
that's what's up. So, is there a thought of? I mean, I guess you just answered the question, but is there a thought of, all right, this is the album, and now I'm moving on to, like, I'm not gonna be in the booth anymore, or is it no? I'm just going to continue to be a creative, and whatever that looks like is what it is.
Yeah, it's that. Especially on the creative side, like we wake up and just breathe this. So whatever we do, whatever lanes open up from this, we just gonna kind of go with it. Make sure we master the craft as much as possible. Yeah, and keep it going. Like might come with another project right after this. We got some songs already been working on. We just went and knocked out about 2 more joints a couple days ago. Why not? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, why not? We on your head top, bomba clap, Jamal.
Yo,
it's so funny because the people that are listening to this show don't know what we're talking about.
Right.
And Reed getting alive right now.
Right.
There's only one person that know, and he was in there earlier. He know exactly what I'm talking
about. You guys just recently did a live show down in the Bay. Big show you put together. With the album getting ready to, with this album with Nothing Lasts Forever getting ready to drop. Do you feel like the art installation is what's going to be sort of the event, and then we move on to something else? Like we're just gonna let that sit. We're gonna let that be what it is, and now we move on to something else.
Nah, we gonna work this.
Yeah.
He going on the road right
now. This needs to be worked.
Okay, word.
This needs to be worked. Like this is definitely a project of. Nah, you didn't really tap in here. Like people experience things and they rap about them.
Yeah.
But the team experience things, like he said, like going number 3 on iTunes and having those experiences as a team is different.
Mm-hmm.
My personal experiences are different.
Right.
Death of the ego is a real thing, and it was kind of based on this. And my experiences with dealing with that are on this project. My experiences with relationships are on this project. My experiences with money and life and street shit and home shit and like everything is here. So
Yeah.
for the people that resonate with that and want to be real people,
Yeah.
tap in. You could be a drug lord Saturday, Friday night, you know what I'm saying? But on Sundays, Mondays to the rest of the week,
Yeah.
this is the truth. This is what you need to be tapped into. So we're gonna take it. We're gonna take it on one. It took us a long time to make it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's gonna take us a long time to promote it.
I love
So,
hearing that.
Yeah, we on that.
I love hearing
It's
that,
old
man.
school.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
There you go. It's funny because, so like full disclosure, I have an opportunity, like, you know, Duece and I'll talk every once in a while. And he was telling me some of them stories about like song is done. And then y'all go back in the studio and be like, nope, all right, we starting over. What? Like, it's mixed.
Song not done.
It's not done.
But to have the, I mean, to me, B, that takes a certain amount of courage, right? To say like the song was done, but no, we can do it better. Like it takes courage, and it takes, you know, it just takes a lot of patience, right?
Nah, this nigga's crazy, man. I can say it now. Hey, Duece, can I say it now?
Have you heard the Detox album?
I feel you.
Look,
I feel you.
Look,
This
don't listen to
this
these
nigga's
niggas,
Joe
man.
Jackson, man.
Nah, this okay.
It ain't
check
right.
it
That
out.
dude said Joe
ain't
Jackson
right.
though.
Look, hello.
He said Joe Jackson though.
How much you selling that candy for?
Look,
How much you
this
pay
what
for
it
it?
is. This what it is, right? This what. All the years I grew up listening to music, I can start to pinpoint like, damn, I can hear the dude still breathing after the verse is over. Why didn't they cut that part out?
Yeah, yeah.
Or did he leave it there for artistic purposes? Why does that drum sound like that? Why did he use that drum? What's the point of that? So after reverse engineering, learning how to do it on my own, sitting in thousands of mixing sessions and understanding, so when it's my turn to make an album for myself, I'll know that other people are going to listen to it with the same ear. They're going to go, I don't like this. Why this doesn't feel right to me? So if it doesn't feel right to me, why the fuck would I give it to somebody else? And be like, here,
Yeah.
I'm done. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, fam. I don't know if this is it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a feeling I can't really explain. I can't explain why I don't feel it's done. It just doesn't feel done.
Right.
But I'm also not gonna not ever put it out because I'm hella impatient at the same time. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I'm like, all right. But if I do 100 takes, I could do them in one day.
That's
Or you ready to stay up till 5 o'clock in the
right,
morning?
That's
and
the
knock it out?
compromise. That's the
yeah.
compromise.
That's a compromise.
Yeah. The artwork that we've gotten to see, the what you released thus far, crazy dope. The website is dope. It's visually appealing and at the same time very powerful in terms of what you've shared, the wording and the content. Just looking at the website, it seems that everything is very very purposeful. Everything is very thought out before it's presented to the public. And to me, again, that it seems like that takes a certain level of patience. I understand what you're saying. Like I have this art, I want to put it out, but to be patient enough to create this content in a way that really speaks to your purpose and what you're you know what you want to do with this thing, B.
Really do. Shout out to Deezus again. That's her on the aesthetic. On,
Yeah.
On, creative direction and making sure it makes sense, making sure it's in order. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like we trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
And it's beta, but she's seasoned in structuring the visual aspect and making it palatable for people who are not that way. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I can have a million ideas, but she's gonna take it and condense it and go, this is how it should look. Which is a skill on its own. Man. And without her, a lot of the visual part isn't there.
Yeah.
So she's a very pivotal part of how this is conveyed
Yeah.
to the public. So yeah, shout out Jesus, and just how we've been rocking. Like we want people to know this is art.
Yeah. Yeah.
And not in the throw it away kind of like, yeah, scroll, double tap, scroll. Like if you don't stop and go, oh shit, they took their time with this, then the music ain't for you.
Right.
It's just not for you.
Right.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh shit, take your sex, drugs, and do what you want to do with your Sunday night, man.
Do what you like.
Oh, 9 joints.
R.I.P. the legend, man.
Yeah, true. 9 joints, and then the 10th joint is a live version. It's a full project, man. It sounds great. I'm really excited for people to have an opportunity to hear it. You have we touched on it a little bit. You have some friends and family on this joint. I'm gonna give you opportunity to shout out if we can, unless you just want to let people experience it once it drops.
That is tight. Nobody's asked that yet. Yeah,
that's tight.
Well, bro, it's Klyph Notes, bro. Come on now.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Klyph Notes.
First, the gang is on the project in some way, shape, or form or fashion. There's that live version you're speaking of. There's 15 musicians on the record. So Grand National they inspired it, they worked on it, they critiqued it. Duece was probably at mostly every session, just A&R, and just had changed this, kind of moved that. Monty produced 90% maybe. You know what I'm saying? Jane Hancock is on the album. You know, she's wrote and sang on 2 different songs. Rex Like Raj, Squap Dad, 4000. I think I mentioned you already on a verse. He rapped on some shit he didn't produce though, which was tight. You know? He got on some other shit. Who else is on it? Ian Kelly. I think that might be it as far as like features though. Yeah. And then
we got Unc on the interludes, and we got
sir.
Shout out Don, man.
Yeah, Don.
That's my player partner.
You know what I mean? Yeah, special treats on there, man. Special treats.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So the project drops on the 29th of October. People will be able to get it, tap into it. And then like you said, this project is not just, you're not just gonna sit it out there and just let it go into the atmosphere that you're gonna work this joint. So if people are intrigued by that, you know, how do people tap in? How do people make sure that they're staying up on everything else that's going to come from just the things that we talked about right now? Because I know we didn't talk about everything.
No, we didn't talk about everything.
But how do people even continue to stay connected on this?
Right now, social media, Grand National, Instagram, Twitter. That's the hub for the entire crew. Nothing lasts. The number 4 ever.com is everything about the project. So you can get the merch, shirts for the ladies. We got the crop for your belly out. You can get the record, the tapes, the information on the art installation,
and then the tour dates will be there.
Tour dates will be there.
Word.
Pre-order right now for the project if you want to get it soon and you want to buy your dope straight from the consumer. You know what I'm saying? I mean, straight from the from the plug. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get it straight from us, and everything. NothingLastsForever.com. That's where everything's gonna be.
That's what's up.
Just tap in with us.
That's what's up, man. The whole Grand National team, man. Like I said, I'm such a fan of the crew, of the collective, artistically, and the more that I get to know you folk, the more I so appreciate who you are, just as men and women, man. And hopefully it continues to go without saying. My platforms are here for you, man. I'm so grateful to be connected with y'all, man. And so thank you for allowing me to have just a little bit of your time to to help spread the word. You know what I mean?
Nah, we appreciate you, man. Like it's nothing without this. It's nothing without somebody like saying, "Hey, come up here. It's cool. You have a home here."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we just thank you, bro.
That's what's up, man. We got to do let them know where to go. So of course, like you said, Grand National, Brookfield Duece, on social media, Just like it sounds.
Mm-hmm.
Monty Draper.
Just like it sounds.
Just like it sounds.
Manuel.
Kevin Allen. I just learned this today. Is Kevin Allen no vowels except for the A?
Yeah, somebody, man, can you believe somebody had that name already?
And he dropping joints.
You know what I'm saying?
He dropping joints on
dropping
Kev
joints. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of Kevin Allens out there, and I had to like figure out a way to have my name and still kind of sound like my name when you search me on Instagram.
Yeah,
Kevin, KVNALLN on the IG shit.
Yeah, it is.
Twitter, Kevin Allen Music, all the way spelled out. And just search like shit, Kevin Allen, like rapper, Bay Area. Like, just be smart, people. Like, if you're looking for this, don't give up when you can't find it.
Right.
Keep searching and keep.
Don't give up. That's
Don't give
the key,
up.
Yeah.
It's Grand National all day, so just go to grandnational.com.
It's like an 80s movie.
Yep.
Don't give up.
Grand NATIONXL.com.
No doubt. Brookfield Duece, Monty Draper, Kevin Allen. The album is, by the time you hear this, the album will be like ready to be delivered straight to your doorstep, man. Nothing lasts forever. One more time, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all.
Bomba Clot Klyph.
Yes, sir. Yo, big ups to Grand National. Big ups to XRAY FM. It's so dope to be able to be back in here recording this podcast for sponsoring the situation, hosting the joint. Shout out to Akepele Apparel for their continued support of the Klyph Notes podcast. Check them out. The pop-up is coming. The next pop-up is on the way, so tap into the website akepele.com. That's AKEPELE.com. And I will be on deck, so come through. I'm putting together an old school set, so come through and vibe with us, man, and cop some merch. And man, tap into DJ Klyph everywhere, DJ KLYPH. Subscribe to the Klyph Notes podcast everywhere you listen to audio. And last but never ever least, big ups to the homie Theory Hazit for creating the official theme song for the Klyph Notes podcast. Be sure to check out Meet the Brave everywhere that you listen to podcasts. My guy Monty Draper, you know what I mean? He's again just setting bars, man. I'm a student taking notes. All right, y'all. Until we have an opportunity to do this again, y'all be blessed. Peace.